Hello, Charita. Nice to
How
see
are
you
you?
again. I am fine, thank you. You know, every single time when I'm meeting my family members, I feel well. And you are the family member, so as Usi and all the others. So
Yes.
we will start probably. Yes, we will start. And maybe,
Okay.
maybe today will join us Grok, so artificial intelligence. We will see. He was invited. He is the ambassador of Industry 5.0. So let's see. But I will start now. Good morning,
So,
good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the next Industry 5.0 Power of Touch event, where we write to the language on a back, to the future on a back of a language. And we do it every single week, every single Wednesday, and we do it together globally with the members of my friends. I call them family, which are helping to build wasteless world for everyone. And the word today is rather special. It sounds ducky. And I will start with you, Charito. So if you hear the term ducky, what came first to your mind, please?
oh, Ducky actually, if we go by the word, it's a slang term. It's a term of endearment. Like I can call it's for like dear, you know, a sweetheart or whatever. So you call it Ducky, like my Ducky Michael. Ducky is an endearment term. It's more like uh, you want to call another with that. With the, of course, the other person should know what that means to both of you, right? But there's another term for that. There's another meaning, and I look at it at Google. It's something like uh, you use it for it's in the computer. It's a keyboard, actually. It's a first inductive keyboard. But since we're talking about words that talks, so I'll go for ducky as a slang. It's a British slang, which is a term of endearment, like dear, honey, sweetheart. So that's ducky for me. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Charito. Usi, the same question for you. So if you heard the term ducky, what came first to your mind, please?
Thank you, Michael, for invitation. The word "ducky" comes from the English term meaning something charming or delightful, something that it brings joy. But in our context today, ducky is more than just a name. It is a digital tool, companion, a playful yet powerful way to delightful guide us in understanding how our everyday action impacts the planet. When I close my eye and I think about Daki, I see a world where knowledge leads to action. I see people waking up to the idea that the small daily choices, the food we eat, how we travel, how we consume, are all bricks we lay in the construction of the sustainable future. I see communities challenging themselves, laughing together, learning from one another, using data not to judge but to grow. I see Daki as a gentle but honest mirror, helping us build consequence, not cult. I see a bridge between technology and human touch. Each brick we lay is guided by human touch and purpose, building not just a structure but a wasteless world, harmonious future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Usi. Nupur, nice to have you here. And you know, the first question is same for everyone. So if you hear the term ducky for the first time, what came first to your mind, please?
Yeah, thank you, Michael. My feeling is a bit mixed because, being an Indian, we are always a very much cricket fan. So, and you can consider it is in the blood of all of ours. And duck is a particular term that used in cricket, especially, which is a bit of sledging. So when a cricketer is could not score a run, but on the first ball he is out or she is out, then always in a test cricket, which is actual form of cricket, the symbol that comes in the TV screen is a duck. So once you wrote that word ducky, the feeling was mixed. The duck came to my mind. It's a bit sledging, but however, if I go by the dictionary meaning of ducky, it's exactly opposite. It's actually praising someone. So it is kind of an adjective that normally being used in various forms, and one of such adjective, as per the dictionary, it's talk about is kind of pleasant or say charming, right? It's not otherwise that is used in cricket. So it is pleasant, charming, satisfactory, kind of uh, I'm really feeling ducky, kind of, right? So I'm feeling satisfied. I'm really feeling ducky while everything around me is going so very nice. So kind of, or we can also tell that my cat is very ducky. So it's pretty, it's sweet. Or if we really want to use it in a negative way, then sorry, it's really so very badly a ducky thing. So kind of, but however, so I told you that feelings came so much mixed because the cricket screen, the TV screen, which used to blow up previously, because nowadays test cricket matches are very rare, and it is now 50 over, even one day matches are rare. It is reduced to T20 20 over matches, and the term duck has also vanished as part that from the screen. But first is popped in my mind about the screen that the duck is being shown. Cricketer is just leaving the screech, and a duck is just following him, quaking behind him. So, but yes, these are so very different. But actually, ducky is a very nice term to use with. It's a very good adjective to describe the dearliness of someone, or the beauty of someone, or the charm of someone. So this is how it is, Michael. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Nupur. It's quite interesting because you know that usually I wake up with the term which we will speak about, but this time it was different. During the last discussion with, I have the same topic with Bill and Kevin, I started asking Bill, how are you? And Bill answered, ducky. And I was confused because I never heard this term before as an answer on my question. And I asked Bill, Bill, what do you mean? And he said, I don't know. This word just came to me, and it sounds great. So,
Okay.
and my intention today was to introduce a term which does not exist, but I was not successful because it exists in your vocabularies, it exists in your countries, and it exists in many variation, which is quite interesting. The reason why I like to talk about a term, and maybe I will choose next one, some term which really was not there before, is that the meaning of a term is every time connected to the way how it is being presented. So, as Nupur explained, in cricket, it's one way. Charito explained it is like my darling can be used in this way. And Usi as well describe it. But and he described it in connection to Industry 5.0, which is even more interesting. I think it is because with Industry 5.0, it's exactly this story. There was not such a term before, but it is today, and it is in every single vocabulary. I'm every day surprised how far the term has reached. And if I take the journey of a term, no matter which one, Charito, what do you think is the most important for a new word to be adopted?
Oh, before I start, I would say good evening, Nupur and Usi, and to you, Michael. Are there others in the room?
No, at the moment, not even the AI probably was blocked. So
Oh, yeah. Anjun also wanted to come in. He's trying Zoom.
Mm.
Anyway, so what your question is, how will a new word be?
What is the most important for a new word to be adopted into a language?
It has to have a meaning. So why do you use that word? Why did you coin it? Is it to impact what we're doing right now? So if that is the case, I mean, because if you want it to be transferred from one mouth to another, it has its impact on what you are doing and your advocacy. So if you want to coin a word or you want to make it click, it has to appeal to a lot of people, something that will entice them to listen to it again and again, or probably use it again and again. You see, like in the industry 5.0 and the wasteless world, probably if you want to like making a word to make it click, it should be something about mind-boggling term, that when people listen to you, they think of you. This is a no-nonsense advocacy because the word itself speaks for everything that you're doing. You see, the DUCKY that we use now, I read about it. It started in 1500, but here in my country, I don't think we're using that a lot. In fact, it only stays in the dictionary or in other words. Because when they started that, I think they used that. There's a duck, right? Everybody knows a duck. So a duck walks slowly, like fairly, or swims slowly. So that connotes another meaning. And then the word why, they added it to it to make it more attractive. So what makes a word tick, especially when you coin it as a new one? First, it has a tendency to impact who listens to them, in my own opinion. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Charito. And I will follow on what you says, and I will ask Usse. Usse, you have heard what Charito says, and my question to you is important for the new word adoption, and we are losing Usse. So I will ask you, Nupur, is it important for the adoption of new word how it sounds?
Yes, actually, adoption is happening every day because this is, as Sarito mentioned, that word should have a right meaning to be adopted, and adoption is required because English, or say French, or if I talk about India, then Hindi. These are the languages, or many other languages, which are being used in different country and different context and continents. So it's very much required for that particular adoption based on that application and the based of the context of the communication. New words need to be adopted time and again. Like that, Michael, if I talk about then Industry 5.0, you coined that term. And yes, industry is an English term. You added 5.0 on top of that, or say mobile, GSM 2, GSM 3, GSM 4. So these are the addition with the right meaning and the right context. And those are the adoptions also. Just to highlight, um, I was listening some of the Gen Z, and after that, the new Gen Alpha that has come. If you listen to their words, they speak English, or they are speaking some of their own languages. Sometimes I stumble, I could not understand what they're talking. Many a time what they're talking. Their words are so very different than, like that they will come and tell us that you are ghosting. Ghosting is not a normal word that we use, right? So, but they use it quite often. So there are a couple of others. So adoption of the new words are required based on the context of communication and the country of communication and the situation of communication. And but the word that we'll be adopting, that should have the right meaning and appropriate application. So I agree, it's much required.
Thank you very much, Nupur. So, Usam, I know that you have a bad connection, but if you think about the sound of a term, you know, duck is, let's say, a little hard, but ducky sounds more polite in a way. How do you think that the sound of a term, of a new word, influence its adoption? And I'm not sure if you can unmute yourself and mute, or if there is a connection issue, Usi. But if you will be able to unmute, because right now you are muted, and unfortunately I cannot unmute. I cannot unmute you, but I will continue. And if you are able to unmute and you have a good connection, then come back and we will discuss again. So, Charito, I will ask you the same question which I ask right now, Usi. The sound of a term. I do understand the meaning, but as we can see even in Industry 5.0, the meaning, the term can be hijacked. So by changing the meaning, if you have money and you have a lot of to invest, you can hijack things. But what about the sound? Because, you know, in the old times, the astrologers, years ago, they all work with frequencies. So, do you think a frequency or a sound of a word play important role, or it is not important?
It is important, Michael. It plays an equal role. You see, uh, actually, the sound itself, if it's a new coined word, and it's easy to say, it's easy to understand, right? So they have to be. It has to be part and parcel of the meaning of the impact. So the word is, you say the sound. Yeah, the sound. I'll give you an example. In my country, there is soap, facial soap, you use for washing, of course. So, but they endeared. It became well known when I was younger because they coined two words. You know, like a soap is to wash your hands and face and all that. So they used shock, but the shock, and then the word revive. So when you're washing, you say shock, revive. Everybody is into it. I mean, curious. The word itself can shock, that's the sound. But then the brain functions, the eyes would look at it, shock, revive. So you see, the word itself and the sound attracts people because when you talk about new words, you don't say it face to face to everybody, right? But everybody can hear us, those who are listening. So the first thing that gets to people, if you want a word to go places or be known, it has to be endearing to the ears too. Shall I say ducky? Oh, endearing meaning to say it sounds soft, attractive, and you become curious. So that got the number one place because everybody was saying it. Shuck, shuck, it's double-edged. Shuck, and then, revive. Shuck, revive, shuck, revive. So they coined that, and it became number one, and that was in the 60s, 70s, I think in the 70s. So you see the word itself, because that's our first audience. When you say the sound, people listens, people will hear it. When you use the word by just putting it on paper, writing it down, not everybody can see. You get what I mean here?
Yes,
So
yes,
there
yes.
should be sound and meaning and impact for a new coin word to be effective. In my country, we don't usually use ducky, but when we hear that, everybody, the ears prop up, something like that. Back to you, Michael.
Thank you very much. And Nupur, I will come back to your answer. You said that you was listening to Gen Z conversation. If you listen to that, does it sound to you that in the way as described by Charito, does it, because when I listen to them, there is a lot of abbreviations, a lot of short terms, which are hard for me to understand in general. So it looks like they are not looking forward to have this well-sounding sounds, but cutting it to a small part, small pieces, which they then put together. Do you feel the same?
Mostly, but they use English also very differently, Michael. Like that, they use the word "ate," right? Which in English we know is the past tense of eat. So they use the word "ate" like that. He or she ate the performance, means it's a wonderful performance. So it's a bit tanky. Michael, just give me a minute's time. Someone is waiting. Just. Yeah, sorry, Michael. Someone was waiting at the door.
Don't worry.
So I need to rush. So if I listen to them like that, eight, they use it like that super performance. He or she ate the performance. This means super performance. But we do not use the eight is not an English word to be used like that, right? So they use abbreviation as well as they use it differently. What I must say, because I should not criticize them. I'm no one to do, because they are the future of ours. But I could see the uses are getting different than we learned English. Like that savage, right? Uh, uh, they use it. A savage person is a daring or bold. They use the word savage, but how we use the word, we use the word appropriately, right? But they use it like a daring or bold. You're very right. They use different abbreviations like that. Suspicions, they use shoes, and many other, so many. But yes, but sometimes they use English so differently. Maybe sometime I think that maybe down the line, after 10 to 15 years, if I still alive, I'll have to learn afresh.
Thank you very much for this opinion. Usi, you are writing articles regularly for the Tanzania Digest. And your articles, or you use words, I will say the old way, not this abbreviation, not these new terms. You really use it that me, with my 53 years of age, do understand every single term which you write about. How important for you is the selection of the right words, or do you prefer, for example, to invent or to use the words a different way than they are originally intended to be used?
I find the word from like meeting. So today we discuss about Ducky. You see, I tried to make a research, and I will develop it. Then I will write the article about Ducky, and actual I do not invest in article. I just writing as a volunteer. You see, thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
I ask your question properly.
Thank you very much. Charito, when it is so important, because we are meeting here because of the language, we are meeting here because we understand what is our aim, and we are trying to really find out what is the meaning behind the words and terms. And Ducky is one of them, whether it's new or old, or it doesn't matter. For me, when I heard the answer from Bill, and I have no idea about the term. For me, it was something like he is not feeling very well, but not bad at all. So it was something like a standard feeling. But he would like to make a joke. This is what was my first feeling about the term. And still, I am coming back because for Industry 5.0, the term itself, it was adopted because of the industries. It's simple. And the thought was there is 4, so let's make 5, and there is nothing like that. But still, I think that maybe the sound which you described, maybe it is still missing, and we need some new term to be fully understood by all the generations. Or do you think that this one term will be enough?
You mean one word?
I mean
Enough?
Industry 5.0 in this case. So whether Industry 5.0 can really be understood the same by everyone.
Yeah. To be honest, the first time I heard about Industry 5.0, before I read the whole, the whole sentence, I didn't know what was that about. But when you have the wasteless world and all this, then I understood what that meant. So when you say the term Industry 5.0, I think that stands, but maybe probably you can use a catchword. So what does Industry 5.0 advocated for? I mean, what do you want? So we want a world which is wasteless. So probably when you say Industry 5.0, a catchword like shut waste, kick waste or whatever. So then you will know the waste is the waste that we're trying to erase in this world. So it has to do with that. I mean, there's a catchword that follows it. Because if it's a sentence, then people will, we don't know them, like some other tired, they don't really read the whole thing. But when they see the word Industry 5.0 and there's a catchword, which I think it should be about waste. So waste, kick waste, whatever, shut waste, whatever, something that they think. So this is about kicking out waste in this world. So I think that's what I meant here. But at the end of the day, I know it says that it's okay with that word Industry 5.0. For me, it's more on the realities of the time. There are people who are intent to help others, help the world, but there are those who don't care. So whatever term we use with that, if it fell on deaf ears, we can do not a word, not a catchword, not whatever that we use will seep through their minds and into their hearts. Some people just don't care. But there are people, if you use maybe probably a catchword, they will think twice. What does this group mean? What do they want? What is their advocacy? So by giving them a shocking word, one that in the ears that sounds deeply resonating within them and the world, I think that will go. In my opinion, Michael, that's my opinion. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you very much. And I have to say we have 10 minutes to go. And
okay.
Nupur, it is so interesting to talk about Ducky and about the new terms. Just before I joined this meeting, I made the next Industry 5.0 research, and I found out that there will fall down on the surface a satellite which was sent by Russians 53 years ago to reach Mars. but it hardly reached the orbit, stays there, was uncontrolled, but will come after 53 years back. It is one of the Soyuz satellites which at the time has been launched. And it is quite interesting because, it reminds me that it is the same with words. We send the words in the universe of language, and sometimes we just send it there. We do not watch it, we do not follow it, we do not do anything with it. But the other terms, as you mentioned, Charito, like Industry 5.0, from the very first day, I feel it is a difference. It brings the aim of Wasteless World closer. I just feel it in my heart. This is why I never let it go from my hands. I keep it protected, do everything, and it does so well globally. And the question is, if the language itself shouldn't be researched in a very different way than the language researchers do it. If it shouldn't be discovered in this very strange way as a blue ocean, is something which was never discovered before. We have it here, but who is swimming in the language? Just few. And discovering these words, these terms like ducky, it's a fascinating journey, I think. And even more fascinating if you connect it, as you mentioned, Charito, if you connect it with something which in Industry 5.0 is the image of wasteless world. These two connected are hard to beat because they are so strong. And Nupur, I know that we are still struggling in India because everybody is using the term, but they generally don't know what they are using. They say Industry 5.0 is AI or technology or anything else. What do you think, especially on Indian market, what will be this special annotation or special connection, which every single Indian will say, yes, like, let's say, like the term cricket. Cricket is so popular, you mentioned it. What will help Industry 5.0 to become the next term known as cricket in the right meaning? What do you think it will be in India?
I believe, truly speaking, it is rather than AI/ML, which you'll find most of the Indian websites, because I have written also to few, some of the institutes, they try to link it with AI/ML and stuff. But I believe the wasteless world that you were highlighting, you were advertising, you were talking, you have conceptualized, that will gain more traction, should gain more traction in India. Having said that, we need the same to be demonstrated. So I was thinking someday that being a single individual, how to be there so that we can treating like, say, how to make, say, a particular portion of a city, a particular area, a complete waste free, say particular state complete waste free. I was trying to find out that if we get some investment perhaps, and then we can try, but I'm still do not I'm still clueless. See, AIML in India, the brain is concerned, it is everywhere, and people will keep twisting on it to saying Industry 5.0, AIML, GNI. Whether that make a sense or not make a sense, they're not much bother. However, what India needs much is the waste free India,
Yes.
where we need to reach, and we are not there. Sometimes I look at the kind of waste is getting generated every each day, every day in India. I'll try to find out and create one presentation before next week call, and I'll share with you, Mikhail, with the data that how much waste are getting generated in India. But honestly speaking, I still could not clue it that how to take it forward. I'm still thinking. I'll get back. But that is something which should get the major traction in a very
Thank,
unique way.
thank you very much. Usi, as I said, you write articles. I know you write it as a volunteer, but these articles are great and I think they should spread. Do you see any change around you in relation to the fact that you have become an editor or writer, and especially in relation to Industry 5.0? Do you see that anyone recognize you for your work? Unfortunately, again, you are muted and I cannot unmute yourself. So the connection issue is there. But yes, you are unmuted.
Yes, Michael. I see the difference, and other people already recognize me. I'm contributor and editor in Industry 5. In Tanzania Digest. So, for now, I didn't get any message or know someone told that I appreciate your work in editor and contributor in Tanzania Digest.
Thank you, Si. Generally, what you just described, that somebody recognized you, but you do not get any recognition. This is exactly like with the Russian satellite. You know, it was sent to reach the Mars, but it never reached further than to the orbit of the Earth. But it was there. And just now, you know, when something which was for 53 years in space will come back to the Earth, everybody would like to see it, because we do not have so many things which has been for so long in the space. So, and the same will be with our work, with our words. You know, I did not expect that Industry 5.0 will be so popular in such a short time. It was just 10 years. But already after 5, it was already strongly resonating. But 10 years is nothing. I will have in a few weeks, I will meet my classmates from college after 35 years. Unbelievable. But we have less than 1.5 minutes. I would like to thank you. I have to say, you all are ducky to me, because you are part of the family. I mention it many times. And if I can say it in this positive way, we are here to be one. And we already are one, because we share the heart of the change which we represent ourselves. And I'm really looking forward to meet you next time in a bigger group, because few of the members apologize that they have meetings and I think, should return from hospital. Then we will meet here. We will talk another term. But I know it will be meaningful talk, and I thank you for all your time which you dedicate to the construction of wasteless world. So thank you very much. Have a nice time, free of waste and wasting in all its forms. Stay safe, be free.
Thank you.
And be
Thank you, Ducky Michael.
And be ducky. Exactly. Thanks a lot.
Hi,
Bye-bye.
Ducky Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Usi and Nupur.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sarito. Thank you, Ushi. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.